Hi, everyone. Think for a moment about how you feel about those people who are closest to you, members of your family, your friends, or even your close knit communities. Now, these are not feelings that emerge necessarily from some logical or deductive place built up over the years, but instead these are emotional reactions that we have. The famous anthropologist Clifford Geertz called these primordial sentiments. He said that these feelings emerge from deep within individuals' psyche and their emotional core. This applies to tribal campaigning in the sense that the more a campaign can activate primordial sentiments on their behalf or against their opponent, the better advantage they'll be. Here's a few recent examples. In 2012, Obama had to fight charges that he was a bad bowler, that he liked arugula, not just regular iceberg lettuce, and that he didn't like beer. Conversely, Mitt Romney, who was facing charges that he was just a cold hearted member of the 1% and not like the rest of red blooded normal Americans, leaked that his campaign would debate campaign strategy over, quote, pizzas and beer. In 2008, when Hillary Clinton was campaigning in Indiana to prove that she wasn't a cold hearted member of the 1% or different than the rest of normal red blooded Midwestern Americans, drank a Boilermaker at a very popular Indiana bar. For those of you who don't know, Boilermaker is when you take a shot of whiskey, you stick it in a beer, and then you drink it. Delicious. Another example of this that applies less to 2012 and 2008, but to many modern campaigns, is the fact that many of our campaigners all went to highfalutin, very prestigious Ivy League schools. Harvard, Yale, Princeton. Some of our presidents have gotten multiple degrees from these institutions, and yet none of them mention where they went to school prominently on the campaign trail. Think about if you were in a job interview and you had applied to Harvard. Is this something that you would submerge deep within your resume, or is this something that you might lead with? It's not the same in campaigning, even though campaigning is a sort of national job interview. My favorite and final example I'll give is about Gerald Ford in 1976. Ford was campaigning deep in the heart of Texas. He was campaigning in a Latin American community, and he wanted to show that he had the interests of that Latin American community deep within his heart. And so he wanted to sample some of the local food. He had never eaten a tamale before, and so he took a tamale, husk and all, and bit right into it, much to the laughter of the audience, and he was lampooned and ridiculed in local papers the next day. Because, of course, you have to peel the husk off the tamale, otherwise it's virtually inedible. It would be like eating a banana without peeling it. All of these examples from 1976 all the way to 2012, and many more that I haven't mentioned, are all examples about tribal politics, about us versus them, about one group, an in-group versus an out-group, all about the politics of sameness and difference and how voters come to realize that.